Very good afternoon, children. This is Dalkit Tripathi from LPM Public School, your SST teacher. Dear children, as we have been discussing about chapter first of history, so something we have discussed about the chapter and much more things we have come to know about it. Next discussion is based on literary sources available for us to know about our history. So, well to go to study literary sources. Now let's get started. Much of our understanding of the medieval period of Indian history comes from a plethora of written sources. These include both religious and non-religious sources available in the form of biographies and autobiographies, court chronicles, and historical accounts by pilgrims, traders, and royal ambassadors. So, these are the literary sources available for us, that is based on different types of biographies, autobiographies, literary and non-literary evidences available for us. Many pilgrims, many religious people have written about the history of India. Many traders who came from outside the country visited our country. Many ambassadors. So many people came to the country to know the culture, tradition, and practices of our country, and they mention in their literature, their book, and their records, which we know as literary sources available in our archives and our records. The literary sources usually categorize into indigenous and foreign writing covering subjects such as religion, economics, politics, culture, etc. A variety of languages such as Persian, Sanskrit, Arabic, Urdu, and many other regional languages were used to produce this bulk of writing. In many languages, different types of languages have been used to show the culture, politics, and religion, economics of the country. We can say that it is based on the region of the country in the same pattern, same languages. The literary sources are available. Why? Because the people belonging from the region can understand easily. Difficult for other people who don't know the same languages in other part of the country. That's why they are available in different types of languages based on the regions. It is interesting to note that paper was still not in use in the Indian subcontinent during the early medieval period. We must understand that time the paper was not used to write any script. The reason was the invention of paper was the discovery of paper. The practice of paper was not available those days. So the people, sages, writers, and traders used palm leaves, bark of birds, trees, and animal skins were used as materials for writing. These were the things suited for writing. So people used the things to write down their experiences on such a thing. It was only in the late medieval period that paper became the main writing materials. After that, after late medieval period means beginning of the modern period, made available of the papers to write the things, write the script, and became the best and the easy material for the people. Literary sources of medieval history can be divided into following categories. What are they? And we have to discuss about them. Court Chronicles. Who were the Court Chronicles? A number of scholars belonging to this period wrote about history of dynasties of the period. Court Chronicles means the people who lived in the court of the kings, court of the emperor, and what the experiences they gained from there, they mentioned in their writing according to the dynasties. Next, these are known the Court Chronicles. One well-known examples of Court Chronicle is Abdul Qadir Badayuni's Muntakhabul Tariq or Selection of Chronicles, a work in 3 volumes that deals with the reigns of Babur, Humayun, and Akbar. Bairani's Tarikh-e-Firoz Shahi is another famous court chronicle which describes the history of the Delhi Sultanate. Raj Tarangli, authored by Kalhad in the 11th century, provides information about the history of the rulers of Kashmir. Kalhad was a great writer belonging from Kashmir, and he provided a lot of information through his literature that is known Raj Tarangli about the history of different rulers of the same region, the rulers of Kashmir. Many rulers of this period appointed historians in their courts to record the events of their rule. Usually, historians travelled with the ruler and recorded the events. Abul Fazl's Akbarnama is a fine example of such a work. Its 3rd volume, Ain-e-Akbari, highlights the salient features of Akbar's mode of governance and statistical report of his empire. A number of foreign travelers, scholars, pilgrims, and royal ambassadors visited the courts of different rulers during the medieval period and left behind accounts of the period. Apart from writing about the rulers and his administration, they also focused on the life of the common people. Ibn Battuta, the Moroccan traveler and scholar, visited India during the rule of the Tughlaqs and wrote the Rihla. This book tells us about the geography of India. Al-Biruni's Tariq in written around 1030 century when he accompanied Mahmud Ghazni on his campaigns into northern India is regarded as one of the finest foreign accounts of medieval India. Now, autobiographies and biographies. What is autobiographies and autobiographies? First, we have to know about the biographies, including Prithviraj Rasho, written by Chand Bardai, who was a great poet in the court of Prithviraj Chauhan. Humayun Nama, written by Gulbadan Begum, as well as autobiographies such as Babarnama. In Turkish and Jahangir's Tuzuke Jahangiri in Persian were written during this period. The Babarnama provides detailed information about the flora and fauna of Hindustan, while the Tuzuk-e-Jahangiri provides a fascinating insight into the cold politics during this period, besides giving detail of the emperor's personal life. Firoz Shah Tughlaq also wrote his own biography titled Futuhat-e Firoz Shahi. Next, writings of foreign travelers. The writings of many European travelers like Duarte Barbosa and Domingo Paes of Portugal, Ralph Fitch, William Hawkins, and Sir Thomas Roe of England, Niccolo Conti, and Niccolo Menucci of Italy, Bernier and Tavernier of France also serve as valuable sources for the history of the medieval period. Athanasius Nikitin's visit to India is described in his book The Journey Beyond Three Seas. Sidi Ali Reis, an Ottoman admiral, was another important foreigner whose travels to India and other countries are recorded in the book Miratul Mamlik, or the Mirror of Countries. In this way, we have discussed a lot of things based on this chapter. We have discussed about the different types of literary sources available in our country to know the past of our country. So many things also mentioned ahead in this chapter, which we have to discuss later on. We will discuss religious literature in the next video. After that, many topics will come to know about that. Till then, thank you and goodbye.